So good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. We'll go ahead and get started with our Pilates party. Again, I'm going to have the little ball and the small band. If you have long band, you can tie it into a shorter band. If you have a light toy, you can kind of use that for some of the things we'll do with the small ball. But we'll just start by getting all nice and warmed up. We'll take a nice big inhale in through your nose and then an exhale out through your mouth. Another big inhale. On your exhale, just lift up onto your tippy toes and then inhale, lower your heels back down. So it'll be an exhale to lift and then inhale to lower. And we'll just get a few more like that, working to warm up our calves as we lift up onto our tippy toes and then lower back down. We'll go for 4 and 3 and then last 2. And last one, we'll switch to work the front of our leg. So taking your right leg out in front, lift your toes up and then lower back down. So peeling your toes up and then we lower back down. Should start to feel the front of your shin warming up. We've got some squats today, so we want to make sure our legs are nice and warm. We'll go 3 and 2. And then last one, we'll just switch feet. Opposite foot comes in front, lifting up and then lower. Nice up and down. We do have a little bit of balancing work today too. So if you want to have a chair handy or the wall handy, just so that way we have a little bit of backup if we need to grab anything, feel free to get that ready. We'll go 2 more and then 1 more. All right, we're just going to start with some high knees, so lifting up, alternating knees, working through the hip flexors, and then feeling the glutes engage as we're placing our foot down on the floor. We'll go for 3 and 2, and then last one, and we'll go back. So you're going to kick back behind. So you're like trying to get your heel to hit your glutes as you kick back behind, opening up the fronts of your hips, working through glutes and hamstrings. And we'll go 3 and 2, and then last one. We'll start our balancing work here. So placing our feet down, you want to make sure you're pressing down through all 10 toes as we're lifting up one leg or the other. Really important that we've got that nice space, so all toes are pressing down. We're going to lift up our right foot, and then you're just going to swing your right leg forward and then swing it back behind you. All right, so right leg swings out in front, and then it swings back behind. Left leg staying nice and steady. Make sure you're pressing down through your big toe, down through the inside of your left foot, and then squeeze your left glute to help you stay up nice and tall. We'll go 2, and then 1, and then we'll switch sides. Opposite foot, so planting the right foot, left foot comes up. We're gonna swing our leg forward and then swing it back. We're not in a rush here, just moving nice and smooth and controlled, swinging forward and then swing it back. We've got 3 and 2. Awesome, last one. And then we're gonna go sideways. So taking our right foot up again, this time we're gonna open out to the side and then bring it back down to the center. So we open out and then bring it back down, and we're like, ooh, I can't wait to do this with the band later, right? That would be way more fun. We'll go for 4 and 3. Here we go, last 2. And then 1 more. And we'll go ahead and switch sides, opposite leg. We're gonna slide out to the side and then bring it up. Again, we're making sure we're pressing down through the inside of our right foot so that we're not collapsing into our right hip, right? Working on keeping our hips nice and even though one leg's lifting and lowering. Last 2, and last one. And we'll lower down, shake out those hips a little bit. We're gonna give our ankles a little stretch after that. So right foot comes up and we just draw our circles around with our right ankle. Right ankle is working really hard to help us stay balanced, so just got to give it a little break. And we'll take those circles in the opposite direction as well. All right, and then we'll switch sides. Opposite foot comes up, And just draw those circles around. We're still working to stay as balanced and even on our right foot as we can. And we'll take our circles in the opposite direction. All right, and then lowering our foot down, take your feet about hip distance, maybe a little wider, wherever feels comfortable. We're gonna go for our hip circles. So moving our hips over to the right, to the front, to the left, and back behind. And just making those nice smooth circles as we roll through our hips. Nice, we'll go 2 more just like that. And then after this next one, we go the other way. So this is like our nice little active recovery, right? We're able to get back in touch with our Pilates breath. Nice big inhales in through your nose and exhales out through your mouth. We'll go 2. And then last one. All right, from here, we'll come back to center, torso circles next. So we're folding at our waist over to the right, reach your chest forward, then we lean over to the left, and then we reach up and back. So as we're side bending, think about reaching out just as much as you're reaching over. Same thing as we're going forwards and back. We're trying to take up as much space as possible as we mark out these 4 corners. And then we can start to draw our circles around. So we're rolling through. Make sure abs stay engaged to help us give our spine lots of support. We'll go 2 more circles in this direction. Stretching up and over. And last one. Ooh, and we'll come all the way up to the center. And we're going the other way. Over to the left. Reach your chest forward. Over to the right, and then up and back. We'll map out those 4 quarters one more time. And then we can start to draw our circles around, right? And again, no rush with this move either. We're just really trying to feel out our spine, feel our abs work. So just taking our time to roll through. All right, after this next circle, we'll meet back up nice and tall in the center. Coming up, stacking our spine. We'll just roll our shoulders back. All right, so taking our arms out in front, we're just gonna take a nice big inhale in here. On your exhale, push your arms back behind, and then inhale, reach your arms back forward. So exhale, we press back. Think about opening up your chest, and then inhale, reach your arms up a little higher. We'll go 4 more here, stretching back, and then bringing our hands up to shoulder height, and we'll go for 3. And we bring it back up. We'll go last 2. And then up. And then last one, push your arms back and hold it there. From here, we're just gonna bend the elbows and then straighten out the elbows. So we pressed our arms back behind. Now we're just warming up our triceps a little bit. Inhale to bend. And then exhale to push back. We'll go for 3 more here. And then 2 more. And then next time you straighten out your elbows, hold it there. We're just gonna go little pulses with our arms, trying to lift them up a little bit higher. It'll be like a centimeter higher, but whatever little bit we can get, little tiny pushes for 4 and for 3. We'll go last 2. And then 1, release your arms. We're gonna bring them back up to shoulder height. From here, open up your arms out to the side and then bring your arms back into the center. So exhale, we open out wide, and then inhale, we bring our arms back in. We're going for 4 here. Feeling your chest stretch as your arms open out to the sides, and then feeling your chest and shoulders work to bring your arms back into the center. We'll go 2 more here. And then next time you open up your arms, we'll hold it right there. We're gonna draw some small circles forward here. So nice, small, controlled circles. Moving through the shoulder joint, we'll start to make our circles get a little bit bigger. Working through the abs to keep our torso nice and steady, and then our circles get a little bit bigger. All right, we've got 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it steady. We're gonna go small circles back. So opposite direction with the circles, starting with those nice small circles again. We're going 4, 3, 2, and we get a little bit bigger, medium-sized circles here. Nice, smooth, controlled circles. And then the circles get the biggest they're going to get. Nice big circles around as we draw those circles. 3 and 2 and 1. Hold your arms steady. Turn your palms to face forward. Take a nice big inhale in here. Exhale, give yourself a big hug, squeeze. And then inhale, open up. Opposite arm crosses over as you give yourself your hug. And then we open up, big inhale. And then exhale, squeeze. We'll get a couple more like that. Big squeeze. And we open, last 2. And then last 1. And then release your arms down, shake it out, shake it out. All right. From here, we'll take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, you're gonna drop your chin down toward your chest. All right, taking a nice big inhale in here. Exhale, bring your right ear over to your right shoulder, stretching out the left side of your neck. And then draw your chin back down to the center. We'll go opposite ear. Left ear, left shoulder, all right side of the neck, nice stretch. And we come back down to the center. We'll do that again, right ear, right shoulder. And then draw your chin back down, left ear, left shoulder. And then coming back down to the center, we're gonna do a full roll down. So we've already nodded our chin to our chest. Now start to round your shoulders. Allow your hands to kind of glide down your legs as you arch your back, rolling your way down towards the floor. Your knees can bend as much as feels comfortable here. I'm gonna bend my knees a good amount so that way I'm giving my back a little bit more space to stretch out. Once you get to your version of a nice roll down, just take a nice big inhale and an exhale here. One more big inhale. On your exhale, we're gonna roll it up. So we start with the hips, start to squeeze your glutes as you straighten out through the hips. And then we roll up through our spine. Head's the last thing to come up. As your head comes up, we'll look straight ahead and then all the way up at the ceiling. From here, bring your head back to center. Roll your shoulders back. Whew. All right, so we're gonna get started off with both props. So I've got like a medium-ish resistance band on the loop band. Again, if you have a long band, you could also just tie it in a loop. But I'm gonna be stepping into the band and placing it right above my knees. I also wanna have my ball or pillow or whatever prop I'm playing with today handy because we're gonna have that in our hands. So placing the band up above your knees, and then holding on to the prop with your hands. Again, no props, no problem. You'll still get a great workout, just option to have some extra toys if you want to. All right, so we take our feet just about hip distance apart here. You want there to be no slack on the band, okay? So my band about hip distance apart, a little bit wider is gonna give me nice already work for the hips just to hold that position. Ball's just gonna come into your chest. You'll hold on with both hands. We'll take a nice big inhale and a nice big exhale to get ready. On your inhale, you're just gonna sit down like you're going into a little chair, dropping the hips down. Exhale, we squeeze the glutes and stand up. And that's all the lower half has to do. So inhale, we lower, and then exhale, we lift up. We're gonna add in the arms. As you stand up, you're gonna press the ball out in front of you. And then as you lower back down, your ball comes back in towards your chest. So a little chest press here. Inhale to lower the hips, bring the arms in, exhale to lift up and press out. So we take up as little space as we can on the way down and then take up as much space as we can on the way up. Make sure that your glutes are guiding this movement of lifting up out of your chair, right? We really squeeze the glutes as we stand up nice and tall. We're going for 4. We press. And we'll go for 3. And then last 2. And then last 1. We're gonna lower down into our squat and just hold it right there. All right, so we're in our squat. You wanna find a squat that you can hang out in for the next like minute or so, because we will. All right, you're gonna reach your arms out in front of you. From here, we're gonna draw some big circles with your arms. So I'm gonna take the ball in my right hand, I'm gonna reach my arms behind and then pass the ball over to my left hand, and then reach my arms back out in front and pass it to my right hand. So just drawing these nice circles with our arms. Abs are working really hard here because we're holding this squat, right? So our body's a little bit lower. We've got to work to keep the length in our spine. So think about reaching your chest forward. Glutes are like, oh, come on, let me stand up. I'm ready. Not yet, glutes. Here we go. We've got 4 more in this direction. Nice circles around. Whew, looking good. Make sure you can still see your knees and you can still see your toes sticking out past your knees. And then we'll get 1 more here. Reach your arms out in front, hold it there. We're gonna go little pulses with your hips up and down. We've got 4 and 3, last 2 and 1. Bring your arms into your chest, stand up nice and tall. We're going circles in the other direction. The hips lower down. Arms reach out in front. Left hand starts with the ball. You're gonna reach your arms back behind, pass the ball to the right, and then circle it around. Now, can you pull your belly button in? Think about scooping up through the pelvic floor muscles, pulling your belly button in. Give your back lots of support. Can you see your toes? Could you wiggle your toes if you needed to, right? We do want to have our toes in contact with the floor, but just want to make sure we're not putting too much weight in our knees. We're going 4 more circles here. Nice mobilizing for the shoulders. And then 3. And last 2. And then 1 more. Reach your arms out in front. Little pulses with your hips up and down. We're going 4 and 3. Last 2. And then 1, bring your arms into your chest, stand up nice and tall. Whew. All right, so we're gonna add in a little bit of balance next. We'll start with our hands at our chest. We're gonna lower the hips down. As you stand up, you're gonna lift up your right leg out to the side. And then we go back down into our squat and we'll switch to the other side. Left leg lifts, and then we go back down. All right, so there's the lower body part of the workout. We'll add in the arms. As we lift up out of our squat, arms go up overhead, and then they come back down. All right, so we squat and then lift everything up. Squat down, and we stretch. We've got 4 each side. Thinking about those outer hips as we're pressing out against our band. Really trying to stretch our band out as we lengthen out through our leg. We're going 3. And 2. Sorry, miscounted. This is 2. And then next time the right leg lifts up, let's hold it there, okay? So we're up with the right leg lifted. Tap your toes down towards the floor and then lift back up. Probably a little bit of a small movement because we're balancing and pushing against resistance, but little toe tap. And then we lift up 3. Make sure ribs aren't popping up 2. And then last one, we're going back down into our squat. Hands come to your chest, opposite side. We lift up and then tap the toes and lift. Make sure the inside of your right foot's pressing down into the floor. We've got 3. Woo, 2. Last one, and we come down into our squat. Hold it there, little pulses with your hips up and down. Whew, nice little warm up for our Saturday morning, right? Here we go, 3 and 2. And then last one, we come all the way up. Ho-ho, shake out your hips a little bit. All right, so we're gonna keep our same props. We're just gonna make our way down onto the mat. We're gonna go hands and knees next, okay? Oh, so working our way down onto our hands and knees. I'm just gonna bring my camera down a little bit. All right, so hands and knees. I'm gonna place my left hand on the ball and then my right hand will be on the floor. You could also totally do this on your forearm. I'd probably go left hand on the ball, right forearm on the ground. So we're gonna do a little rolling, okay? So finding a nice flat back here. We wanna think about belly button pulling in. So we keep our natural curve here, but we're not dipping the belly button down. Alrighty. From here, let's just try sliding the ball forward. So left arm slides out in front, and then we slide back in. All right, we've got our knees stacked right underneath our hips, and then our shoulder stacked right on top of your right wrist. We're gonna go 3 more here. And then 2 more. And then one more. And we bring it in. Let's just try out the other side. So opposite hand gets the ball. We take a nice big inhale, maybe resetting, making sure abs are still engaged. And then we slide the ball forward and we slide it back in. We're going for 5. And bring it in. Make sure all 5 fingers on the left hand are pressing down. If you're on your left forearm, make sure you've got elbow to wrist connected with the floor. Last 2. And last 1. All right, we bring it in. We're gonna switch back over to the left hand. We're gonna add in a little bit of lower body work. Left hand will stay where it is, right hand as well. You're gonna send your right leg straight back and then open up over to the right side. All right, so now we've got some tension on the band. Left hip, we wanna stay lifted up out. We're gonna lift our right leg up away from the floor. So nice big inhale, exhale, right leg lifts, and then inhale, it lowers back down. So right leg lifts up and then we lower. We want to think about moving through our glutes and not through our lower back. So we're not lifting our leg up as high as possible. We're just lifting up so that way we feel our glutes start to activate, but belly button stays pulled in so that way we're not able to sink into our lower back. We'll go 3. And 2. And last 1. And then bend your right knee, bring it in. Let's switch the ball over to your left hand. Whew. All right. So over to your right hand. Yes, other left. So left foot steps back and then we open over to the side. So we're just outside of our mat if we're using a mat. We'll take a nice big inhale in here. Exhale, lift your left leg up, not too high, and then lower back down. So we're just kind of testing out the waters here. How high can I lift my leg to make my glutes work, but not to overuse my lower back muscles? We're going for 4 more here. And then 3 more. Gaze is out past the fingertips. Think about lengthening through the back of your neck. Last 2. And then last 1. We'll bring our left leg in, switch the ball back over to your left hand. All right, from here, right leg steps back and then over to the side. And then we're gonna reach our left hand forward. So if we're on the ball, we roll the ball forward. If we're not on the ball, you're just gonna reach your hand so it's out in front of your right hand. All right, from here, we take a nice big inhale, exhale, lift up your right leg and then lower back down. So it's a lift and lower, same thing. We're just making our obliques work a little harder by creating more space between our left hand and our body. Now, since it's Saturday, if we want a little bit more, as you lift up your right leg, you can lift the ball or lift your left hand up away from the floor and then lower. So we'd lift up and then lower. This is going to be even more challenging to not dip into our lower back. So think about your abs, your pelvic floor muscles, working to stabilize your spine while your arm and leg do a little dance. We'll go 3. And 2. And then last 1. And then we'll bring everything in. Whew. Okay, let's try out the other side. So right hand gets the ball. We just want to get set up here. What's my head doing? My neck, my shoulders, really lifting and lengthening out. We send the left leg back behind and then stretch it over to the side a little bit. Right hand's gonna roll forward, so we've got a little bit more length here. Our obliques are gonna have to work a little harder. We'll start with our left leg only. Nice big inhale. Exhale, lift up your left leg, and then inhale, lower. So exhale, left leg lifts up, and then we lower back down. I'm thinking, how much ab work do I need to keep my lower back stable? If I want a little bit more, as I lift up my left leg, my right hand comes up too, and then I lower everything back down, right? If that's a little too wild for this morning, if this side's like, ooh, I can't keep everything in control if I lift up my arm, then we don't lift up our arm, right? We're really just working our glutes, challenging our core stabilizers. We're going 4 and 3. Last 2, and then last 1, and then bring everything in. We're gonna push our hips back, child's pose, slide the ball forward so both hands are resting on the ball. All right, From here, we'll take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, you're gonna start to roll the ball in towards your body as you round your back. Think about scooping your abs in as you lift up away from your hips. So we're coming into like a higher cat-cow pose. And then we're gonna roll the ball forward, push back into our child's pose. So articulating through our spine, exhale, we roll up. Maybe we're sliding our hands along the floor to arch our back up towards the sky. And then we'd slide back out, pushing back into child's pose. So focus on your abs here. Your abs scoop in to help you create this nice rounded back shape. And then the abs stretch out as we go back into child's pose. We're gonna get 2 more like that. Exhale, belly button pulls in. We scoop and roll up. And then we let it all go and lengthen back out. Last one here, exhale, pull the belly button in, roll it up. And then we lengthen and stretch it all the way out. All right, from here, we're gonna work our way all the way down onto our tummy. So we're gonna lie face down, band stays where it's at, ball stays where it's at. I know, minimal prop changes, so convenient. All right, so we'll have our hands on our ball and our hands will stretch out in front of our body. And then our legs are just stretched out right behind. So just nice length through our legs. You don't have to have the band super tight for right now. We're gonna be working our spinal extensors and giving our glutes a little bit of love. All right, so you can have one hand on top of the other or both hands just flat on the ball. If we're not using a ball, hands would just rest on the floor. We'll be doing some sliding and lengthening. All right, so gazing down at the mat, we'll take a nice big inhale and exhale to get ready here. On your next inhale, you're gonna lift up your head, lift up your chest, peel your torso up away from the floor. And then exhale, we lower back down, first our chest and then our head. So think about that articulation. Inhale, we start to look up towards the front edge of our mat. As we do that, our chest starts to lift up, maybe even a few ribs. And then exhale, we deflate. The ribs come down, then our chest, and then your head. We'll get 2 more like that. Inhale to lengthen and lift up. And then exhale to float back down. Think about your spinal extensors, those muscles that help us stay up nice and tall. We're working through them to lift up. And then exhale, we lower everything down. All right, if we're on the ball, we're gonna place our hands on the sides of the ball for this next part. If we're on the floor, just place your hands flat down on the floor. Head's gonna stay down. We're gonna work through the lower body next. Make sure shoulders aren't creeping up by your ears and that your hips are nice and even on your mat. From here, we'll take a nice big inhale. Exhale, you're just gonna lift your right leg up away from the floor and then lower it back down. And then left leg lifts up and we lower back down. So band's probably not doing too much right now, maybe a little slight resistance, but the main thing we're focusing on is keeping our hip bones nice and even on the mat, even if one leg's up and one leg's down. So we're only lifting our leg up as much as we can keep both hip bones in contact with our mat. And of course, we're not sinking into the lower back. We're working through the glutes, but our abs are pressing into the mat, pressing in through our lower back to help us stay stable and lengthened. We're gonna get 2 more on each side. So nice exhale to lift, and then inhale to lower. And we lift and lengthen. Shoulders haven't started creeping up by our ears. Last one here. And we lower down. All right, we're gonna put those 2 movements together. If for any reason one of those 2 moves is not your back's friend today, feel free to opt out of that move and just stick with the opposite, okay? Hands would come back on top of the ball. We're gazing down at the floor, taking a nice big inhale and exhale to get ready. On your inhale, you're gonna peel your head, your chest up away from the floor. We're gonna hold there. On your exhale, lift your right leg up away from the floor and then lower it back down. Left leg's gonna lift up, lower back down, and then roll the ball back out. So it's an inhale to peel your head and chest up. Exhale, right leg lifts up. And then inhale, lower. We're looking at the bottom edge of the ball. And then left leg. And then roll it all the way back out. We've got 2 more here. Inhale, we lengthen and lift up. We're going to lift the right leg up 2 times. So we go right leg up for 1, right leg up for 2, and then left leg up for 2, and then 1. And then we lengthen and roll it back out. Last one here, big inhale, we lengthen and lift up. We've got our right leg up for 4, lifting for 4, and then lower. Try to keep your chest lifted. We're gazing forward and down. Last 2 here. And last one, we've got the left side. Now, can you scoop belly button in? Really think about giving your lower back support, and then only lift your leg as high as you're able to keep your lower back lengthened. Lower the left leg, and then roll it all the way out. Oh. All right, we'll take a nice big inhale in here. When you're ready, we can work our way back into our child's pose again. Or if there's another stretch that would suit you right now, feel free to take that. Sliding the hips back and just stretching out through your back. All right, so once you've gotten a nice stretch here, we're going to try those cat-cows again where we're arching our back up. So starting from our child's pose position, arms are stretched out long. On your exhale, nod your chin to your chest, arch your back as you peel up away from the floor, maybe extending through the hips a little bit. And then we float the arms out, sink the hips down. So exhale, we tuck the tailbone, nod your chin to your chest, arch your spine up towards the sky. Really trying to feel the upper back stretch out after all that spinal extension work. And then we lengthen and lower back down. We'll get 2 more here. Exhale, we articulate, round it up. And then inhale, we flatten and stretch it out. And then 1 more, round your back, roll it up. And then lengthen back out. From here, we roll it up nice and slow. Okay, we're going to work our way into a side lying position next. So we'll go side lying, bottom forearm on the floor. We like our nice position with our elbow, hips, and heels all lined up. We've still got our friend the band on, and we'll just hang out with the ball. We won't make it work too hard this time, okay? We're going to take our top hand. So this is my right hand. It's going on the ball. It's a little bit of an unstable surface, but makes it more fun, right? And then we've got our legs stacked. We'll take a nice big inhale in here. Our knees are bent with our legs stacked, knees just slightly out in front of our hips. We're going to do some clamshells. Exhale, we open up, and then inhale, we lower. So our feet are staying connected. We're doing a little bit of rotation at the hip joint. So we're rotating, opening up, and then rotating, closing it down. We'll go for 4 more here. We rotate up, and then lower back down. And we'll go 3 more. And back down, and we'll go last 2, and then last one. Nice. Go ahead, lower your leg down, reach your top arm up to the sky. We're going to stretch back behind, and then we rotate, stretch your arm out in front. So we inhale, we open, we stretch out, and then exhale, we rotate and reach forward. All right, so gaze kind of follows your hand or follows the ball. Might be looking down towards the floor as the ball reaches out, but as we're going up and over, we're just tracing the ball with our eyes. We'll go 2 more here. Nice rotation through the torso. Nice little stretch out through your chest. And then we rotate back down. And we'll get 1 more. We rotate over. And then rotate back down. And then we'll come back up to center. We're going to flip over so that way we're lying on our back side. So before we get to the other side, we'll just work on our back side. All right, so nice little break, right? We've been pushing it this whole time. So finally get a little lie down. Hands are going to come into your chest, holding on to your prop. And then feet are about hip distance apart here. We'll take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, just reach your arms up to the sky and then reach them up overhead. So stretch your armpits out. Then from here, reach your arms back up to the sky and bend your elbows, bring it back in. So it's an exhale to reach up. Inhale, float your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your arms back up to the sky. And then inhale, bend your elbows. So our challenge here, we're pressing through our chest up. We're making sure our ribs don't pop up as our arms float up overhead. And then we're keeping that stability as our arms come back up to the sky. And then we get to relax as our arms come down. 2 more. We reach up. And then we stretch just the armpits, not the ribs. And then arms come back up. And then bend your elbows. Last one like that. We reach your arms up. Stretch, stretch, stretch up overhead. And then reach your arms back up to the sky and bend your elbows. Hold it right there. Let's take a nice big inhale. Exhale, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up away from the floor. Inhale, lower your hips back down. So we're in our neutral spine, so we're not going up to our highest bridge possible. We're just hinging up, finding that nice length, working through our glutes, and then we lower right back down. We'll go 3 more like that. Exhale, we lift up. And then inhale to lower back down. And then last 2, we lift. And then lower. And then last one, lift up and hold it right there. From here, we're going to add the arms. Reach your arms up to the sky. Float your arms up overhead. Squeeze your glutes as you do so. Bring your arms back up to the center. And then bend your elbows back down. So it's an exhale to stretch. Inhale, we lift up overhead. Exhale, the arms come back to center. And then inhale, we lower back down. So it takes a little bit more concentration as we're stretching our arms up overhead to make sure that our ribs aren't popping up, right? Because now we can't feel the floor underneath the backs of our ribs. We really have to rely on our nice strong abs here. We'll get 1 more. As you bend your elbows, lower your hips down to hover. Lift your hips and your arms, and then stretch your arms up overhead. Arms float back up to the sky, and then bend your elbows, bend your knees. Exhale, we reach up the hips and our arms. Inhale, just the arms move. Exhale, arms come back up, and then we lower back down. We've got 3. Exhale, up, and stretch. Back to center, and then lower down. Last 2 here, reach and stretch. Back up, and then down. Last one here, we reach up, stretch your arms up overhead and hold it right there. All right, so abs are working, glutes have been working. We're just gonna add a little bit more fun for the glutes, little pushes out against the band. As we add this extra movement, a little bit more concentration from our abs to keep the rib cage down. Make sure shoulders aren't creeping up by your ears, no stress, no tension. We've got 4 and 3, last 2. And then reach your arms up to the sky. We're gonna go little pulses with your hips up and down. Little squeezes with those glutes. We've got 4, 3. Here we go, 2. And then last one, lower your hips, bend your elbows. Woo! Let's get the other side. So we're gonna go side lying on our opposite side. All right, so bottom elbow, bottom hip, bottom heels all lined up. Top hand just gets to rest on the ball. I know, taking it easy. We're making sure we're not collapsing in our bottom shoulder, and then we've got our clamshells. Nice big inhale. Exhale, we rotate and open. And then inhale, we lower back down. Exhale, we rotate open. And then inhale, we lower. And we've got a few more there, just moving through that outer hip, thinking about externally rotating, and then internally rotating, coming back to center. 4 more here. And 3. Last 2. Ooh, are your hips loving this workout? Last one. And we lower down our top hip. Top arm stretches out nice and long. It'll be an inhale. We open up. We follow our hand with our eyes. Exhale, rotate, stretch your arm out nice and long. Think about rotating through the ribs. We rotate back behind. And then we rotate down towards the floor. It's an inhale to open and stretch out. And then exhale to rotate down. Last 4 here. Inhale, we open. And then exhale, we rotate. And last 3. Last 2. And then last 1. All right, from here, we're gonna make our way up to seated. We are gonna take a band break, all right? So we'll take the band off. I know, so sad. All right, from here, you're gonna take the ball, you're gonna place it underneath your right foot, okay? And if you don't have the ball, it's okay. We're gonna do like some straightening and bending, so you'll just move your leg without being on a ball, okay? So sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna reach our arms forward. We've got one foot on the ball, I've got my heel on the ball, and then opposite foot on the floor. From here, I'm gonna stretch my right leg out nice and long while I reach my right arm up to the sky, and then come back to the center. So we'll begin, inhale to lengthen and stretch, and then exhale, come back to the center. We'll get a few more like that. Inhale, same arm, same leg, stretch out, and then same arm, same leg, come back to center. Last 2. And then last 1. We're gonna add some rotation. So as we stretch out, we rotate over, reach your arm back behind you, and then nice half circle, bring your arm back in. So it's an inhale, we rotate, we follow our arm, and then exhale, we come back to center. We're staying nice and lengthened up through our spine, feeling our ribs rotate over, feeling maybe our right hip get a little bit of love as it bends and extends. We'll go 2 more here. Inhale, we stretch. And then exhale, we come back to center. And then 1 more, stretch it out. And then back to center. We're gonna go for some roll downs next. As I roll down, my right leg will straighten out. All right, so nice big inhale to get ready. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, roll your spine down. As you do so, right leg straightens out. Once you get to the bottom, your arms reach up overhead, circle around, and then start to roll your body back up. As you do so, right leg bends back in. So it's a nice exhale. We slowly, slowly, slowly roll down, stretching our foot out nice and long. When you get to the bottom, feel free to circle your arms around and then roll it all the way back up. Ooh, 1 more here. We roll it down. And then circle your arms around and roll it all the way back up. And then next time we roll down, we get to stay there. Exhale, we roll it all the way down, stretching our leg out. And then just open your arms out wide to the sides. Make a T shape with your arms. All right, so right foot still resting on the ball. We're gonna take our left foot up into tabletop position. So of course, now with one leg doing one leg, the other leg doing something else, our hips are gonna try to do something crazy. So let's make sure both hip bones are pressing down nice and evenly in the mat. You can feel all of the backs of your ribs pressing down, right? And we're pulling down on the front side to just make that nice, strong abdominal connection. From here, you're gonna straighten out your left leg. So take it out into like a 45-degree angle and then bend it back in. So we'll go exhale to lengthen and stretch, and then inhale to pull back in. We'll get about 4 more like that. We stretch out and then bring it in. If you're feeling instability from the T arms, feel free to bring your arms a little bit closer in, right? That'll give us more control through our ribs. We're going 3 and 2. Whew. Well, next time you straighten out your leg, hold it right there. You're just gonna lift your leg straight up to the sky and then lower back down. So we lift straight up and then just lower to that 45-degree angle, only as low as we can maintain our neutral spine. We've got 2 more here. We lift and then lower. And then last one, lift. Lower down, go ahead and bend your left knee and tabletop. We're gonna take our hands behind our head next. Elbows open out wide to the sides. You're gonna take your right elbow over to your left knee. From here, come back down to the center, straighten out your left leg and bend your right knee in. As you bend your left leg, bring your right elbow over to your left knee and then come back into the center. So we rotate over as we lift and then we come back to center as we slide the ball in. We've got 3. And then last 2. Woo, here we go, last one. Nice. From there, we're gonna take our left leg straight up to the sky. Reach your right arm straight up overhead. We're gonna reach right arm outside of the left foot, and then we lower the left leg down as we bend our right knee in, and then we straighten out the right leg as we reach up and over outside of that left ankle, and then we switch. So we reach, rotate, and then lower back down. We've got 3, reach up, rotate, and then lower. Last 2, reach, and then lower. Last one, reach, and then lower. From here, hands can go back out wide to the sides. We're gonna stretch the right leg out long, lift your left leg up to the sky. Here comes our grand finale on this side. We've just got some small circles with our left leg. All right, nice small controlled circles. If you can keep the ball still, try that. Working on keeping our hips nice and even. We'll go 2, and then circles in the opposite direction. Nice, smooth, controlled circles. 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Bend your left leg, set your foot down on the floor. Reach your arms up to the sky. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, roll your body all the way up to seated, bending your right knee in. Okay, one side down. Let's get the other side. Switching the ball over to the opposite foot. Yahoo! All right. So right foot can rest on the floor. We've kind of got like our left heel-ish on the ball. We'll start just with our little stretch up and over, okay? So sitting up tall, we're gonna reach our left arm up to the sky as our left leg stretches out. Inhale, we stretch, and then exhale, we come back to center. So nice little mobility. Now the left foot has a little foot rest, so it's like, oh, thank goodness. Whew. We're gonna go for 3 more. Oh, we stretch, and center, and 2. And last one, we're adding in our rotation. So we open out, twist, and then come back to center. So we open out to the side, and then bring it back in. Couple more here, rotate over, and then rotate back to center. 3 more, rotate, and center. Last 2. And then last one. Coming back to center, we've got our roll downs. Nice big inhale. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, roll your body down. Your left leg gets to lengthen out as you do so. Circle your arms around and then roll yourself all the way back up, bending your left leg as you do so. Couple more. So we roll down, lengthening out through our left hip, lengthening out through our spine. Circle your arms around and then roll it all the way back up. Last 2 here. We roll it down. Circle around and then roll it all the way back up. 1 more here. Roll it down. Articulating through our spine, taking our time to get down. Circle your arms around and then roll it all the way back up. This time when we go down, we get to stay there. Exhale, we roll it all the way down. Stretch it out. We'll take your arms out nice and wide to the sides or whatever arm position felt best for you, stability-wise, for our nice little hip mobility work. All right, right knee comes up in tabletop position. Again, hips are as even as we can keep them. Backs of the ribs are pressing down into the mat. Right leg only, we straighten out the right leg and then bend your right knee back in. So it'll be an exhale to lengthen and then an inhale to pull. And we've got about 3 more there. Pressing down with our left foot, trying to keep our hip bones nice and even, making sure we're not stretching our right leg out too low. Now we straighten out the right leg and hold it there. Just lift your leg up to the sky and then lower back down to your 45. So we lift And then we lower. And we're like, oh, right hip, I love you so much, right? You are so strong. You are going to do so great with all the fun we have in store for you. Last two here. We lift and then lower. And then last one, when you lower down, let's just bend your knee back in tabletop. Hands come back behind your head. We're going to take our left elbow over to your right knee. From here, we bend the left leg, straighten out your right, and then come back in and twist over. Back to center and stretch. And then bring it in and rotate. We'll go 3 more like that. Crunch and rotate. And then back to center. And then 2 more twists. And back to center. And last one, twist. Back to center. We're going to keep our right leg straight. Left arm reaches up overhead. We come up and over. And then back down. So as the left leg goes down, or as the right leg goes down, the left leg bends in, and then we straighten out the left leg as our right leg comes up, and we twist up and over. 3 more, reach, and then back down. 2 more, and then last one. All right, next time the right leg lifts up, we just hold it right there. Left leg can stretch out. Grand finale, here we go, small circles. Really press down through your left foot. Draw those circles around. We can take our arms out in a T or any other letter that feels good. Opposite direction with your circles. 4. Woo, keep them going. 3, 2, and 1. Bend your right leg. Set your foot down. Go ahead, bring the ball to your hands, and then bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart, and relax. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, from here, we'll go ahead, bring your feet back flat on the mat, and just allow your knees to kind of rock side to side, shake out your hips a little bit. All right, coming back to center. We're gonna take our feet hip distance apart, lift your hips up in the bridge, place your ball underneath your tailbone, okay? So we don't wanna go underneath the lower back. We wanna be a little bit more underneath the tailbone, just so we have a nice opening for the hips rather than for the belly button. All right, this may feel good to do a block instead or like a pillow. So we'll just go ahead, stretch your right leg out nice and long. Think about opening up through the right hip. And then bring your right leg in. Switch it out for your left. Left leg stretches out. And then we'll add the right leg to the left so both legs lengthen out nice and long. All right, bringing our feet back in. We're going to take your knees up in tabletop position. Arms are planted by your side. Just move your hips like a centimeter to the right and a centimeter to the left. Just a little twist here. All right, we'll go 2 and 1, and then set your feet down. Go ahead, lift your hips up, take the ball out. We'll place the ball off to the side, pull your knees in, give your body a nice stretch here. All right, from here, we'll either roll like a ball or roll off to one side, but we'll make our way all the way up into a seated position. Whew. All right, let's go hands and knees. We're gonna stretch out our hips a little bit. So we'll work our way onto our hands and knees. Props can just be off to the side for this. All right, so getting set up here, nice neutral spine. We'll take our right leg and you're just gonna stretch your right leg back behind. Flexing your foot, just lift your right leg up away from the floor. So really squeezing your right glute here. All right, and then bend your right knee, bring it in. We're gonna keep your right knee bent, just open out to the side. And then bring it in, keeping your knee bent. You're gonna drive your heel straight up towards the sky. Lower the right leg down, switch it out for your left. Left leg stretches out nice and long. Flexing your foot, just lift your left leg up away from the floor. And then bend your left knee, bring it in, open up over to the left side, keeping your left knee bent. And then bring it down, drive your heel straight up towards the sky. Again, keeping your knee bent. All right, from here, we're gonna swing our left leg all the way through so that our left hand plants in between, our left foot plants in between our hands. All right, so we're bringing the left leg forward so that we can see our toes now. We'll go ahead, straighten out your right leg. So lifting your right knee up away from the floor, squeeze your right glute. Think about lengthening out through your spine, reaching your head and chest forward. And then lower your right knee down. We're gonna start to walk your hands up your left leg, coming up nice and tall through your torso. Think about finding that length and opening through your right hip. Squeeze your right glute. All right, and then placing our hands back down. You're gonna step your left foot back behind, and then let's just draw some circles with your hips. And then circles in the other direction. Whew. And then coming back to center, we'll take our right leg, step it forward, so right foot comes in between your hands. And then straighten out your back left leg, squeeze your glute. And then lower your left leg down, start to walk your hands up, lengthening up through your spine, squeezing the left glute still, just really opening up through your back left hip. All right, and then walking our hands down, we'll step your right foot back behind, and again, just draw those circles around with your hips. And making sure to go in both directions. All right, from here, we'll work our way over into our desired seated position. So legs crossed, legs long, whatever feels best for our hips. That did get a little bit of a workout today. All right, so finding a nice comfortable seated position, hip bones nice and even. We'll take a nice inhale, right arm reaches up and over. And then exhale, we'll sweep across the front, rounding your back as you do so. And then left arm reaches up and over, and exhale, we sweep. And we'll get one more big inhale to reach. Exhale, sweep across the front. And then left arm reach. And exhale, sweep. And from here, we'll roll it up. Just roll your shoulders back. All right, and that is a wrap for our Saturday Pilates party. Woohoo!